Let's start. Um, the last session we used Spring Security. First, we saw if we just add dependency and never do anything, the Spring Boot application will create a username and generate a password on the console so you can log in. Next thing is we wrote username password. We configure our username password like this in the property file. So this username and password will be used to break to authenticate. After that, we saw that key we can configure by Java code, and we use in-memory authentication. In-memory means as soon as application will run, it will create a user with this name, with this password, and the role of the user will be this. Okay, and we use password encoder as a no password encoder because we don't want to encode our password, because Spring Security will try to save password in encoded form. So we did this part here, but I want to store my password in the database, username password into database, and match it from the database. So let me show you how what changes we have to do. um, uh, let's see, we are trying to use h2 as a database. I don't want to connect with MySQL right now. Let's see what I can do. So for h2 I need to add h2 dependency and some property file. So either I can go there, or I will use existing application like this. In this, I'm going to use its POM file.
In POM file has everything, is right?
Yes, so I will copy the dependency and all from its POM file. The JPA dependency and H2 dependency. Okay, and let's say DevTools also. So these three dependency I'll copy, Control C, Control C, Control C, and in my project, that is a Spring Security project, in its POM file, I will paste it. So I think okay, DevTools is already there. So okay, so I will override this part. Control Shift F, Control S. Now in my application, I have data JPA and I have H2 database. Wow, very good. Next part, open its property file, because we configure data source related property for h2. This is these things. I will copy these properties and I will paste into my project property. Yeah, these many properties for h2 database. Okay, wow. So let me try to access. So first I will close this, so there is no confusion. The only quality is the Spring Security. Wow. Come to the main file. This is the main file. Right click, run as Java application. Let's see what happened. Wow, my application is started. Okay, and h2 console is available on this URL. Okay, let me copy this part. Control C, and database available at this thing. Okay, no issue. Come to here, type localhost colon 8080 or sorry, I don't need to greet. Yeah, this one. Let's see. Wow. Means Spring Security also applied to the console. Although H2 console have its own username password, but to access H2 console, we Spring Security applied login page. This is not good thing. This is not good thing. Let's say 1 2 3 4. Now we come here and again give the username password for the H2 console. So by default, Spring Framework secure all the URLs. Okay, but I don't want to secure a particular URL. I don't want to apply Spring Security for the particular URL. So how we can do this thing? So we can use this thing in the Spring config file. There is a configure method which take authentication builder. There is one more configure method which take parameter as a web security, and I am saying the URL start with this. Ignore it. Do not secure. Do not secure. Do not apply Spring Security for any URL which matches to this. Wow. Let's see. Run this application one more time. I will run it. I don't depends on DevTools, but I will run one more time. In the test controller, we have greet. Let's say localhost greet. For greet, it will ask username password. Okay. Let's say localhost, or instead of this h2 minus console. For this, it will not ask. That's the thing we want. Okay. And my username password for h2 is, if I don't have remember, so I can see it's here. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Let's say connect. Wow, we are able to use h2 with Spring Security. Wow. But now to work with Spring Security, we need to create database. Okay, so what database I need? Let me show you. We need to create this employee kind of thing. Let's say Control A, Control C, and I will create a package. The package name can be anything, but it's entity because it will save with the database. So suppose we have okay, it's not working. Fine. Then let me right click, Maven, update. Let's see. Okay. Now you can see it's working fine. We have an employee with ID name, something like that. But just a minute. Okay, no worries. First change the password encoder, because now I don't want to save my password as an encrypted form, so I will use decrypt password encoder provided by Spring Framework. So now this password will be used. Okay, and just one more minute. Instead of using this thing, hmm, data source private. This is the beauty of Spring Framework. We did declare data source. We declare data source in one place. We declare data source in one place. SQL data source, and we can use it anywhere by using dependency injection. Data source means uh, something which contains how to connect with database. So you can see this is the data source. This is the data source URL. This is the data source driver class name. This is the data source username password. Means we declare some configuration here, and if I need this configuration anywhere in Java classes in the Spring, so we only need to do auto void this part. That's it. So here earlier we are using in memory authentication. Now we are using JDBC authentication. Okay, great. JDBC needs to connect with database. Okay, so this will be the data source. This will be means it will connect with this kind of database. Okay, how it will get the users? With this command, get username password enable for something like that, authorities something like that. Now I will declare some user by my own. Let's say Pramila, and the password is 1234, and Pramila is the admin. Just a minute. Pramila is the admin. One more user, let's say, just 1 minute. Rakesh.
So can I create here multiple user password and
Yes,
yeah, okay.
this is for, and Lakeshwar is the manager. Let's see what happened. Let's see. I just write this thing, and I'm going to stop my application. Okay, and rerun this application. Let's see what happened. And see the password. For Pramlaji password is 1234. For Lakeshwar password is 4321. See the password. Some error. Let's see what's the error. Hmm. Okay, fine. We have to write some JavaScript. Sorry, SQL script. Uh, yeah, schema script. What is the schema script? Just 1 more minute. I will put here schema script. See, it will create tables. These tables, basically. As soon as my application start, it will create these tables. Okay, with for H2 if it is not created. So let me run this application one more time. User table, authorities table. As soon as my application will start, Spring Boot will load these SQLs to create the table for S2. Let's see whether it's work or not. Yeah, application is started. Application is started. It's a good point. Okay, let's come to the H2 console. Refresh. So it will ask, oh no, you have to log in again. Okay, my password is 1234. Correct. And here you can see three tables. One is employee. One is employee. So why employee? Because we are using JPA. And in JPA, if we create any entity, a class with entity notation, it will create a table. So it's okay. I can understand this part. But how users tables come here and how authority tables come here? Because in resources folder you create a schema.sql file. So when Spring Boot see, okay, you have this file, it will create tables in your database. So let's see. Um, for the greet function, greet, it has login. Okay, so I have two users. Uh, one is Pramila, and okay. Before going to that, see the here. You can see we have two users. How many users we have?
2.
Pramila and Lakeshwar. Pramila and Lakeshwar. And what's their
Yeah.
password?
Encrypted password right now here.
Encrypted password. Yes, the passwords are encrypted. But let me check whether we are able to log in or not. So I know the name and the password of Pramila ji is, username is
One,
Pramila
two, three.
1234.
Password.
One
Yes.
two three four. Okay. So let me write
Mm-hmm.
1234 1234. Callback. User is not found. Something like that. Just a minute.
Pramila 1234. Say add me.
Just a
One more
minute.
time.
Just one more minute. Uh, I thought it's a role admin. Okay. It should be work. It is not working. Just a minute. Select username role from user roles where username is this. Okay, so what's the problem? Let's see the problem. Bad SQL grammar. Select username role from user roles. ठीक है. Let's see username from user role. So क्या कमांड लिखी है? User roles. Here table name is authority and in the authority table we have username and authority. I have to change this thing. I think I don't know why it's not working. Just 1 minute. Authority. Okay. Let me close this thing one more time. Let me stop one more time. Then we start one more time.
Maybe we can try without the admin role.
Now, actually, rules are necessary. Every user have must role a role.
Mm-hmm.
These rules are just created by us. It can be anything. The role can be Pramila, role can be Musa. It can be anything. Okay. It's just
Yeah,
it's needed, but
yesterday
for,
you run without rules, so it doesn't work.
no. We run. We give the role. Yeah. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Just one more minute. Let me check whether it's working. And we have users. We have authorities. Okay. Now I'm trying to access grid. Grid. It asks for the username. Let's say Pramila and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's working fine. Now I'm going to write logout. Yes. Now same Lakeshwar. So let me copy the username. The username is Lakeshwar and password is 4321. 4321. Sign. Yeah, Lakeshwar is also able to. Oh, sorry. What happened?
It doesn't work.
Just a minute. Great. Okay. Yeah, it's working fine for Lakeshwar. Okay. So this is the way how we can connect. Although we can enhance it more and more, but I don't want to go there. So this is enough for the way. Okay. These are few things we are using here. While working in Angular, I will create an application which uses JWT token. So in that part, we talk about the JWT token. For now, I'm done with the string security. The next part is the Swagger documentation, API documentation. Okay, so let's close this part. Okay, close this thing.
So I need this project.
Okay, I will share all the projects, don't worry.
Okay, sure.
So suppose I have API demo with MySQL. Here I created many controllers like this, and I want to change the project package name. This is not web but controllers. Okay, fine. So this is my controller. In this controller, we have these many APIs. Post mapping for the employee, put mapping. Okay, so I want to add Swagger capabilities. What is Swagger? I will show you. Don't worry. So let me copy this application. Control C, Control V, and Spring with Swagger. So let me copy. Let me close this thing first. It will trying to create a project. So what we have to do? First, we have to change in the pom.xml. The name will be this Spring with. Spelling name is wrong. Spring. I will correct it. Don't worry. Refactor. Rename. Spring with Swagger. Okay. This is a Spring with Swagger. And one more thing, I want to change the package name. Refactor rename. Also rename the sub packages. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's okay. Let me check POM file one more time. Mm, okay, I think it's okay. So let's run this application whether it's working or not. Then I will use any other thing. Okay, and I have to change this file name also. Also main file name also Spring with Swagger. Okay, let me run this application. Right click, run, whether it's working or not.
No.
Yeah, it's
Error?
working fine. It's working fine. Okay. So, okay, let's stop it here. I don't want to continue right now. So, suppose I'm a Java developer and I created few APIs like this. You are my colleague, you want to test it, or you are the QA member, you want to test it, or you are the front-end developer, you want to consume it in your React app, Angular app, or Vue app, or any other app. So you need to know about the URLs, you need to know about the input parameters, request parameters, you need to know about the response. So you ask me, okay, just make a document of your API so I can call it, I can consume it. So it's very panic for a Java developer to create a document for their API because there is no standard form of doing this thing. Okay, anyhow you create it and you deliver it and they test it, okay, but next time you do some minor changes, major changes, you have to update the same document, so they will refer the updated document. So there is a need to document the API. Okay, so the Swagger is the best way to document the API, and not the best way to document, but also it's a way of consuming the API. So let me show you how we can do this thing. Hmm. For this we need to add Swagger dependencies. Let me check, we have Swagger, yes. These two dependencies we need to add. Right click, copy, and in my application Spring with Swagger I will copy these two dependencies. My habit is I will put into the last. It will take some time to provide these things. This is the first part. Step number 1, add dependencies. Step number 2, create a config file, Swagger config file. Yeah, Swagger config file. I will copy this code and I will create a config package dot config for configurations. I will mention here. Yeah. So see here, I define some bean and some API info. Okay, I will take it. Base package. Base package means the package where controllers are exist. So this, in my case, this is the base package for the controllers. So Control C. My all controllers reside here. Here some extra information like description of the documentation, title, version, let's say, and the URL, any URL, license URL, mommy.com, contact your big brother, something like that. Means it can be real URLs, real things, but for myself, I'm using some dummy URLs. Okay, so let me try to run this application. What I did, what I did, I did only these two changes. Added two dependencies, these dependency and these dependencies, these two dependencies, and create one Swagger config file, something like that, which is a configuration file, and it says it will enable Swagger 2 in the Spring Boot application. And Swagger will try to see the controllers from this package. Let's see. This is my main file. Right click. Let's see whether it's working or not. No, it's not working. Okay, fine. What's the problem? Error creating this bean API document scanner, something like that. Okay, means there are some problem while creating error while creating a bean. Which bean? This bean. This is not able to create this bean. Okay, let me check what is the problem. Okay, one more thing. Fine. Again, the problem can be a version related problem. Yeah, here we are using Spring 3, but in this we have to downgrade our application version by this. Let me copy this thing, and I have to downgrade the version because whatever I have the code example, they are not working with the new Spring Boot version, newer basically from the Spring 3. So let me right click, Maven, update, force release, just wait. Okay, so it shows some error. What kind of error? Um, I don't think it's error. Just Maven update one more time. Maven update force one more time. Right click, run as clean. Clean. Some error. Jar file is missing. Okay. Let me remove this part. Okay. MySQL connector jar. Why it's failing? See, dependency version. अच्छा यहाँ इसको dependency version चाहिए. Okay, just wait. Go to MySQL connector maven jar. Let's see. Let's move to this package. Okay, I'm using this, and let me copy this part. Copy हो गया. Okay, come here. The form file. In the form file, I'm saying this, and you can see working examples are not working when we change the versions and all. Okay. Let me right click, and update. Refresh. No Jakarta was Javax. No table but Javax. No ID but Javax. Yeah. So let me run this application one more time. Main file, right click, run as Java application. Let's see. See the logs. If you see this part, that's mean my Swagger documentation is working fine. Okay, let me come here. Instead of grid, let's say Swagger minus UI dot HTML. Okay.
There is no HTML, HTML only.
Okay, that's problem. Now you can see. Wow, wow, it's HTML page. Great. So let's see. Your spec name demo API. Where is coming? Where it is coming? It is coming from here. Okay. Next part. For this is for learning purpose. Website, send email, restricted license, everything. These details, these API information is coming from here only. If you change here, it will change here. Now this is not main part. The main part is how many controllers we have. We have only two controllers. Test controller have only one endpoint, that is hello. Wow, you can see. Come to the controller, and here we have only one endpoint. But in an employee, we have these many endpoints. Wow, we have get, post, put, get, delete. Wow. Let me use get endpoint. Means this is not only documentation, but this is complete package. It will give the response something like that. Wow. Everything, whatever, no parameter. Okay. But suppose here for post, we need a body something like that. It's JSON type, and response will come something like that. Wow. So let me run this application. Here we have try out. Cool. Just execute. You don't need to pass postman. You can see data comes. This is the data coming from the Means this is the Swagger documentation where you can not only document but you can test your application also, test your APIs also. So actually you don't need Postman, but Postman does lots of more things. So this is the Swagger documentation. Yes, it's nice, cool or not? And models, you have only one employee class, something like that. Everything is in single page. So you need only share this URL with your colleague, tester, QA member, your front-end developer. Just share this URL and you will get the complete information about the APIs endpoints. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I'm done from my side. Thank you.